Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Moviesnips. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about Giedi Prime, or I guess it's pronounced Giedi Prime, which is the homeworld of House Harkonnen in the Dune franchise. This planet is particularly interesting. At least I found it very interesting in terms of how it's so different and just very unlike other planets in other science fiction franchises. Like, it's just very distinct and unique. And I think it'll be interesting to see how Giedi Prime is portrayed in the upcoming 2021 adaptation of Dune. So let me start by talking a little bit about the planet's geography, ecology, so on and so forth. Giedi Prime is in the Dune universe is the third planet orbiting the star 36 Ophiuchi b, and historically it's been the homeworld of House Harkonnen for I guess hundreds of years, maybe more. Before the original, this is interesting. Before the original Dune saga, I guess the main storyline of Dune, before the Harkonnens ruled the planet, it was actually, and during the time of the Machine Crusade, it was ruled by Magnus, which was a security, I guess it was like an artificial intelligence bot of some kind. And later on, after the machines were defeated, after the Machine Crusade, it was given to House Harkonnen as a fiefdom under the new empire. And it was they were almost like, in some sense of the word, they were banished to Giedi Prime. One of the ancestors of the Harkonnen family was banished to Giedi Prime as a result by an Atreides, because the Harkonnen did something wrong, or he made a bad decision in the Machine Crusade, but the story was that one of the Harkonnen ancestors wanted to save the lives of a bunch of people on a ship, and wanted to forego making a decision that would have saved the lives of many more people, by making that one bad decision. And that was why Harkonnen was banished. The Harkonnen family was disgraced by the Atreides. That's why they were so bitter, and that's the origin of the Atreides and Harkonnen feud. That's what caused it. That whole being banished, to Giedi Prime and that kind of thing. So Giedi Prime, actually, like, it is a planet that is, it has a standard day length of 31.27 standard hours, and a local year lasting 2.6 standard years. The planet was at one time, I believe, not so heavily industrialized and polluted. It was a temperate world of moderate climatic conditions, and I guess it had its own a vibrant ecosystem at one time, forests, and it was a vibrant planet. And then what happened was that after I guess the Harkonnens took over the planet, they changed the ecosystem drastically. They polluted the atmosphere by heavy industrialization, and it changed from being a pleasant, temperate world to a rather unforgiving, hellish world. even though the Harkonnens, did damage the planet's ecosystem, some part of that ecosystem was still I guess they didn't damage the whole planet. Like, I mean, there was still some part of the ecosystem survived. Like the planet still had forests, and if you read, I don't know if you've read the original, not the original, the prequels to the Dune novel by Brian Herbert, or House Atreides and House Harkonnen, and they talk about Forest Guard Station on Giedi Prime, and so it wasn't a completely damaged world, and it had as I said, it had forests, and it had tall trees called Palingatam trees that were logged and exported. It also had a plant called inkvine, and during the time of the Harkonnens, the planet was covered by a lot of cities, factories, arenas. These arenas apparently were used to hold spectacles, gladiatorial events, namely, and apparently Fade Rauta would perform at some of these events as a means of gaining popularity among the general populace. It's basically a diversion for the population of Giedi Prime, because the population of Giedi Prime had a very sparse and pretty miserable existence for the most part. It wasn't a very forgiving, environment. The weak generally didn't fare well on Giedi Prime. It's interesting to note that apparently the Harkonnen military forces were also conscripted from the general populace of Giedi Prime, and they were apparently, this was a way for them to channel their oppressed upbringing into military endeavors. Apparently, society on Giedi Prime, apparently, according to, I guess, how society worked on Giedi Prime, slave labor was in existence, and some of the natives on Giedi Prime were used to work the machines of heavy industry and to work in the mines. Giedi Prime is a planet that's very rich in mineral resources and, I guess, gems, rocks, valuable quartz and that kind of thing. So, there were mines on the planet also. Giedi Prime. What else can I say about Giedi Prime? Okay, Giedi, and then that was that's basic. That's just a background on how the ecology of the planet, the living environment of the planet, how society under the Harkonnens was on Giedi Prime, and it's interesting to note that after the original events of Dune, of the events of the original novel, if you read the later, I guess, the sequels to the Dune book, they talk about Giedi Prime and how Giedi Prime was changed. It was renamed. It was renamed to Gamu, and the ecosystem kind of did recover. After that, it was not. The machines of heavy industry and the pollution on Giedi Prime kind of, I guess, ceased to exist, but the planet drastically improved for the better after the Harkonnen family was no longer in existence. And it kind of Gamu, Giedi Prime, formerly Giedi Prime, now Gamu, became a planet where, I guess, it became a planet that was central to the events of the new Imperium, there was a large scale replanting of trees on the planet after that, and its natural ecosystem did recover, I guess it changed for the better. What else can I say about Giedi Prime? Giedi Prime, it eventually came under the control of the Bene Gesserit Sisterhood, and it became, as I said before, it became an important center of the Imperium. If you look at the film adaptations of Giedi Prime, it's interesting to see how it was portrayed in the original David Lynch movie as being just a complete like a sphere of blackness. It didn't like featureless almost. It didn't look very appealing at all. In the Dune miniseries, they showed some shots of the skyline and the buildings, but there wasn't really a shot of a view from space of the planet itself, so we didn't get to see that. So it'll be interesting to see how Giedi Prime is portrayed in the latest upcoming Dune 2021 adaptation directed by Denis Villeneuve. I'm looking forward to that because Giedi Prime has always fascinated me. Well, once again, I'd like to thank you for watching my video. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and please visit my channel to view more videos on Dune. Thanks.